standing near the location of the blast site.
एक स्लो मूविंग व्हीकल जो रेड लाइट की तरफ आके रुका था, उसमें एक ये एक्सप्लोजन हुआ है.
A lot of investigation agencies are here. It's all hands on deck. The entire area has remained cordoned off. There are fire engines, fire brigades, police personnel have barricaded the entire area.
So probe continues in the blast near the Red Fort in Delhi, in which 8 people have been killed. Now, according to the Delhi police sources, initial findings suggest that the explosion was caused by a mix of ammonium nitrate, fuel oil and then explosive detonators. The Union Home Minister Amit Shah has held two high-level security meetings this morning, and also a cabinet meeting is scheduled to take place on Wednesday. Now, sources say that the suspected driver of the I-20 car who was involved in the blast has now been identified. The driver, they claim, has been identified as a certain Dr. Umar U Nabi, employed at the Al Falah School of Medical Sciences in Faridabad. He hails from Pulwama and apparently is an alumnus of the Government Medical College. He worked as a senior resident at the Government Medical College in Anantnag before moving to Delhi. He was reportedly a close associate of Adil Radha, one of the 2 doctors who have been arrested as part of the joint operation that's been conducted by the Jammu and Kashmir and Haryana police, which led to the recovery of 2,900 kilograms, that is 2,900 kilograms of explosive material and ammunition from Faridabad. The Delhi police has obtained CCTV footage that shows the suspect's I-20 car entering and then exiting the car parking space, and according to the Delhi police sources, the footage indicates that the suspect was alone at the time of the incident. The Delhi police investigation has revealed that the I-20 car that was involved in the blast was parked near Red Fort 3 just hours prior. CCTV footage shows that it entered parking at about 3:19 p.m. then exited at about 6:48 p.m. into a crowded area. The slow-moving vehicle apparently then stopped at a red light at 6:52 p.m. and an explosion happened in that vehicle. Now, more than 100 CCTV clips, including footage from the nearby toll plazas, are now being reviewed to map the vehicle's entire movement. The Delhi police sources have said that searches were conducted throughout the night at the hotels in Paharganj, Daryaganj and the surrounding areas, leading to the detention of 4 people for questioning. And also the Uttar Pradesh anti-terror squad has detained 7 individuals from Saharanpur, Shamli, Muzaffarnagar and Lucknow in connection with the incident. And WION's Dharamjot Kaur has sent us this report from the blast site. Take a look.
We're here at the site of the tragic explosion that erupted right in front of the Red Fort here in Delhi. Now, as you can see behind me, the barricades are still intact. There is the Rapid Action Force and police personnel who are still present over here as investigation continues into why this blast happened, how it happened, what's the reason for it, who are the people behind it, if that is the case. And while investigation is still ongoing, the entire area over here still remains cordoned off. Civilians are not allowed access, neither are media personnel. Only certain security officials are allowed to access this area. However, certain amount of disruption that we saw yesterday of normal movement, that has been reduced relatively. If I could ask my colleague to pan a little bit towards the other side, you could see there's a wide gate over there that is being constructed, a temporary gate. Behind this is a compound right inside the Red Fort complex where there is an event planned for Sikh devotees and worshippers, whereby an open space, the Kirtan Darbar or prayer ceremony will be held on November 21st, 22nd and 23rd, commemorating the martyrdom of the 9th Sikh Guru. So, given the situation, even though it's tense and investigation is underway, the temporary construction of these tents and this entire space has not stopped. That is still going on. pointing towards how things are returning to normalcy little by little. Speaking about public transportation services in this area, the Red Fort metro station still remains closed today. Security officials have said that the remaining services of the Delhi metro will be functioning as per normal, but the Red Fort metro station, which did witness an impact from that intense explosion last evening, that is still closed today for security reasons. So far, the situation, though tense, is slowly changing as locals try to trickle out of their homes, try to resume normalcy. But the tragedy that rocked the national capital is still being investigated. The root cause, the perpetrators, the reasons, all of that is still under probe, and a final word is awaited on it. With video journalist Abhishek, this is Dharmjot Kaur for WION World is One.
All right, now also on the broadcast, we are now joined by Dr. Dinesh Rao, who's a professor and head of forensic medicines and toxicology at AIIMS Jammu and ex-director and chief forensic pathologist at Jamaica. Dr. Rao, thank you very much indeed for joining us here on WION. Now, this entire incident where there are reports that this doctor was involved in preparing this ricin poison that's come up. Tell us a bit about what is this ricin poison and how is it that someone can manufacture something like this, and how deadly can it be?
See, what I analyze is based on the reports. It's very clear. I think he has made an effort to extract the ricin, because extraction of ricin cannot be done so easily. The sophisticated laboratory they require, and they require so-called the reagents, which definitely I don't think it's available in our country, because it's a tox albumin which has been extracted from after the oil has been taken out from the ricinolic acid, we say. Once the castor has been compressed, so the oil, the fatty things which comes out is the oil, which we call it as a ricinolic acid. But whereas the pulp, which the press cake we say, which remains after the oil has been extracted, that contains ricin. Though it's a very deadliest poison, more than the cyanide, but extraction of that tox albumin, it has to be carried out in a very sophisticated lab. I feel that he has made an attempt to do it. I don't think he has been successful, because even handling the ricin, it requires a lot of care.
Right.
And it's hardly, because only the states get into this type of extraction and preservation, and then using it as a warfare, but as such, as a biological warfare. But this person getting into that sophistication, it's most unlikely, but definitely he has made a dangerous attempt, which is very obvious.
Right. Now, this of course is being described as some kind of an ISIS plot, is what is of course coming forth. Now, in your assessment, the fact that something like this was being attempted, how much of logistics is needed to carry something out like this?
See, one is the logistics. More important is, of course, the raw material may be easily available, but the extraction of the resin from the press cake that is one. And apart from the extraction, the resin to be stored, that is another part of logistics, which is high level of sophistication is required. And beside this, administration of resin. So how we intend to administer? Is it as an aerosol? Or because the person who administered himself has to take such protective gears he has to wear. He can't wear the usual dresses and try to handle such sort of deadly poison. Because you will be surprised to know a few micrograms is sufficient to kill an adult individual. And that too in a matter of few hours, the person will die, because most of the organs, because it's a tox albumin, it acts on those respiratory enzymes inside the cells, at the same time causing hemolysis, blockages, organs failure. That's how the individual dies. But as I said earlier, the sophistication in relation to the extraction, storage, and the dispersal or handling of the poison is something which I am very sure the individual whom you named, it's impossible for him to acquire all alone. Only if the state is involved, like countries are involved, definitely they have that sophistication. but
Indeed.
definitely can't be in a so-called lab in the house or something like that. It's absolutely not possible.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.